Hello traders and good people. Upon your requests, I've decided to create another follow-up video. In the comments, people asked me to share the follow-up on the complaints I made to the official regulatory bodies in terms of those binary brokers with shady business practices, as well as, asking me what broker do I use. But first and foremost, for full disclosure, this is not a financial advice. You should always seek an independent financial advice before making any financial decision. This video is only for and solely for information and education purposes only, because trading is not suitable for everybody as it carries a risk of losing your capital. So in terms of my complaints, which were filed with official regulatory bodies, up to this date there has been not much of a progress, but as I can believe, there's been plenty of people who are facing the same issue, and it's extremely difficult for them to handle all those claims and cases on a one by one approach. But luckily, from the global perspective, it has been a year or so since binary options were banned in the UK and also in the US. I think in the US they were banned way back then as well. So from a global perspective, it's amazing that those companies cannot operate their services in the EU and those countries anymore, or they cannot at least offer those products to their customers. Plenty of those companies went bust, they dissolved. Some of them, they've renamed themselves and are offering trading of CFDs, but they do not offer trading of binary options anymore. And some of them are still under the same name, but just offering trading of CFDs. But overall, I'm happy that those companies cannot offer this type of scammy products to customers anymore. And I've also learned extremely valuable lesson, and that's that if I see that some company is regulated in a Cyprus by CySEC, I should be extremely careful. Why? Because all professionals know and tell you that if some company wants to operate in EU, the first place they usually go is Cyprus, because it has somewhat low regulatory requirements and it's somewhat easy to get a license. So you don't have to pay as much, and you don't have to have as much capital as you would have to have, let's say, operating such company in a Germany or in a Switzerland. Now, having that finally out of the way, the question which many of us is asking is, are the binary options still a real thing? Well, and the answer is somewhat yes. Now, I'm not talking about those type of companies who continue to operate their business secretly in some tax havens on those islands, but I'm actually talking about a specific company. And to be precise, actually it's not a company, it's an exchange. So sometime after I've been victim of those scams and shady business practices of those Cyprus-based binary option brokerage houses, I was seeking to find a genuine business, a genuine broker, which would offer a product somewhat like a binary option. I believe that up to this date, Nadex is a leading provider or marketplace exchange for binary options, which are sold in a regulated manner. Nadex is actually Northern American Derivative Exchange. It's a company which is fully registered and based in the US and is subject to US regulatory oversight by the CFTC. And CFTC, it's a big deal. It's Commodities Futures Trading Commission. The fact that it's based in the US is also surprising, because US is extremely careful about offering retail traders a leveraged product. So the first thing to understand is that Nadex is actually not a broker. It is an exchange. So by registering with Nadex, you are not opening an account with a broker, but you are becoming a member of this exchange. Before going any further, I have to say that I'm not paid by Nadex to create this video, and that I'm just creating it because I'm using Nadex by myself. Naturally, you may want to ask question, what do they have from it if they're an exchange, not a broker? Well, because they're an exchange, they are charging for transactions, right? So they charge you $1 if you open a contract and $1 when you're closing a contract. However, you don't pay that $1 for a closing contract if the option expires out of the money. I don't want us to go into a great details of how those option contracts work, because I believe that the Nadex itself does an excellent job. So just feel free to visit their YouTube channel and YouTube videos where they explain the whole structure of the binary options contract which are trading on the Nadex. Binary option contracts on a Nadex are structurally different from those which were offered by, Cyprus-based binary options brokers, etc., etc. In a nutshell, if you buy one contract at a Nadex and it expires in the money, you get paid $100 for binary options. Now, understandably, it depends on a strike price how much you will pay for the binary options contract. So for those contracts which are out of the money, so current share price or exchange rate is trading at a different price than the strike price, you will get it at a discount. In essence, it means that the further out of the money option you buy, the more profit you possibly can make, because you can basically buy option for as low as, let's say, $5. And as I said before, if it expires in the money, it expires for $100, which means that you made roughly $95 profit minus the fees $2, so about $93 of profit. Now, understandably, you're offered a range of various strike prices and also expiry time, so it is as low as 5 minutes time frames and as high as a weekly time frames. Now, having said that, it's obvious that volatility and probability matters when pricing those options, but it's also obvious that the risk reward ratio with binary option contracts traded in Nadex is far greater than risk reward ratio offered by those scammy Cyprus-based option houses. Yes, they do offer a demo account. Yes, they do have loads of training materials on their website and on YouTube. Under normal circumstances, I would not share any referral link. However, they're offering kind of a both side deal. So if you decide to register with them, and if you register via this link, you get $100 for your trading. And on top of that, I think they also offer a 10% bonus from your first deposit. There are some terms and conditions attached to that, obviously, so please be careful and check that out first before you make your decision. But overall, I think that it can be useful to use, and that's why I'm sharing it. You can find it below in a comment section. Now, for those who are considering joining Nadex and are from the European Union, I would try to drop a line to Nadex whether they still accept clients from the EU. I know that they did in the past, however, I'm not sure if they still do accept clients from the EU. Lastly, I do not use Nadex as often as I did in the past, because I still see binary options as a product itself to have somewhat a gambling aspect attached to it. So definitely trader has to have a proper risk and money management in place, and a psychology of a trader has to be superb in order to achieve consistent trading results. So I hope that you liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. If you didn't, you also know what to do. And based on the feedback which I will get, I will see whether it's worth to make another video or not. Thank you and take care.